morning, everyone. I am here in Land Park, one of the most charming neighborhoods in Sacramento. Just to give you an idea of where we're at, we are about 3 miles south of the downtown area and the state's capital. And let me tell you, while some news stations really over-exaggerate death and destruction, it really does feel like Armageddon here. A lot of the centuries-old trees are down. You can see the root at the base of this is double my height. Pretty scary stuff here. There are down power lines. Let me show you here. Live power lines, lots of down trees. You can see the electrical boxes here, live power lines. Lots of people without electricity. We were without electricity for 4 days, people without internet. And it's just really sad seeing all these old trees snapped in half like little toothpicks. It's taking a deep breath because I remember growing up here in Sacramento and going to this very park, sitting literally right over there, having family picnics and soirees. And it's just crazy to see so many down trees here. Taking a deep breath while PG&E, the local utilities companies, tree trimming services, roofing services, people are coming out here to clean all the death and destruction. Just kidding. I want to say now, back to you. Now that's how I would do, this is how I would do news. Anyway, I would do news with a Tuan takeaway at the end. So yes, there is collective craziness, chaos, and the cacophony of things in our minds that literally flutter and shudder with the craziness of everything happening in the world, including the crazy weather here in Northern California. There's been flooding and, like I said, down trees and electrical wires, and it has been nuts. But what do we do? I'm literally squatting down on the ground here. What do we do to ground during times of uncertainty? I was thinking about that this morning. I was jostled out of bed about 3 a.m. many nights this week, thinking about how do I, a person that is seemingly spiritually connected, I work out my mind, body, and spirit with meditation, working out, eating good food, but how do I quell the anxiety and stress that this storm has caused, the bomb cyclone, and looks like today we're going to get a break in the weather. This is Tuesday, and it's going to rain continuously for another week. We've already, I think yesterday was the 18th day in a row that there has been nonstop rain, and just monitoring some of the flooding in and around my area. And yeah, the levee broke just south of us, past the town of Elk Grove in Wilton, about 20 minutes south of us here in the mid Sacramento area. So what do I do to ground? There are 3 things. The first thing is breath. I go to my breath and take deep breaths, and that's what I did to fall back asleep when the wind was whipping. Felt like the roof was gonna fly off of our bungalow that was built in the 40s. And knowing that it's okay not to know the outcome and the uncertainty, and befriending it and befriending our fears. One of my yoga teachers, Blake, said yesterday in a yoga session, he says, feeling is healing. So I'm sitting with all the fears and feelings of everything, not only with the weather, but the internal weather inside me, and feeling it out. Then the second thing is I go to my writing to process everything. And I just sit and I write, free flow. Doesn't have to be for a book or a blog post or anything, just free flow and write. And the third thing is gratitude, because no matter who you are, where you're at, how much money you have, what opportunities you have or don't have, we have our breath. So I want to go back to that. There's a lot to be grateful for. Warm clothes, a fresh cup of coffee, friends, neighbors that have reached out and said, hey, I know you still don't have electricity, and it's been 4 days. Do you need to charge your phone or your electronics? Do you need some food? Do you need a warm place to hang out? And going back to the breath. I want to say that was 3 things, but the 4th thing is going back to your breath again. So meanwhile, I'm just going back to my breath and befriending the monster. Sarah Blondin, one of my favorite spiritual teachers, says that her son was scared of monsters And she told him, why don't you stop and turn around and look at it? Look it in the eye. Hold its hand. And while that may seem scary, it reminds me of when I was a kid and I used to be so afraid of going to the bathroom as a kid, and I would turn around in the shower thinking that a monster was going to come and get me. But when I turned around, there was nothing there. So a lot of this stuff is in our heads. And yes, the truth is that there is truth to fear and truth to what's going on in our lives. But if we just trust and know, that we'll be okay, because we've always been, everything we've been through in life, we've always been okay or more than okay. So all these challenges are here to teach us something. What this has taught me is to cherish every single moment, to try to get off my electronics a lot more. So I'm gonna let you go. Reporting live in Southland Park, I'm Tuan Lam. Back to you. Have a good day. In all seriousness, you guys, take care of yourself, be kind to one another, and just breathe through it. We're all in this together. You're not alone. You are not alone. Look at that. One last look. Wow. That electrical box and the tree. Wow. Sending you lots of love. Back to you in the studio.